Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, Nerd It This Way. I'm Mahalia, and I am going to be ambitious for the end of the year. I have quite a few books, if you saw in my thumbnail, but let's get started.
Mahalia, in this world, you must know who you are.
As I've been doing for the last 3 months, I have the Can You Handle It jar. I will have the rules of it and how I decide how many prompts I have and everything that goes into picking my TBR. So the only change, well, I didn't really change anything. I added a rule or optional material. So each prompt can have multiple books in it. So in case I DNF a book or I just not feeling the book, I have a backup book just in case that meets the prompt. So that kind of guarantees I read something, and also that I go through my shelf and read only the books that have been on my TBR the longest. And I am pretty excited. I have about 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see the piles. No, 5. I have 5 prompts. I've already picked them out. I've already picked the books out. You're probably like, oh, Mahalia, your shelves are in and everything like that. So this setting may be different in my next video. I don't know yet. But let's get started. The first prompt is my uncle, whose birthday was beginning of December, my cousin Lynn, my wonderful sister-in-law, my best friend's wife, my childhood best friend Tiffany. So Cree and Tiffany, my Uncle Willie, and my cousin Lynn. Those are the 4 prompts. In the 5th prompt, I was going to say it's Jesus' birthday, but I actually have, I had a cute little, okay, here it goes. And one of my dear friends that I was in college with, and she's so wonderful, Athena. Even though we don't talk as much, I still follow her on her social media accounts, and I just I don't know, she just kind of brings a smile whenever I see her doing well with her kids and just being her. So there are those 5 prompts for the 5 people, and well, I haven't done the prompts yet, but each prompt can be, an overlay for another book. So one book can have can fall under 2 prompts. So it kind of guarantees I hit all my prompts while still giving me the option to have multiple books to read, because that is one of my problems, is I don't really stick with my prompts. And I think that's because I don't give myself enough options to stick with them. I'm usually this is it. This is what I got to read. I got to get it done. Da, 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 da. So I'm going to try this out and hope for the best, because I'm kind of feeling the whole TBR jar thing. Everyone's coming up with really great games and concepts for their TBRs. And I'm just yay! That's so great. So the first prompt I have is women on the cover. And where'd the pop go? It must have fell. Okay, the first prompt is women on the cover. And so I have already started reading this. It is The Night Tiger by Yang Zi Cho. I love her writing, and I'm listening to the Audible book too for this. She is also the narrator, and it is so interesting. So if you read her Ghost Bride standalone, then you would love this, because it kind of has the same feel of magic realism, but with a Chinese supernatural. Actually, this one I think is in Malaysia. Yes, this one is in Malaysia, and it follows 2 characters, Ren and I can't. Jilins, Jilin, Jilin, Jilins. I hope that's the case. But this follows those two people and a dead man's finger. That's pretty much the synopsis I'm gonna give. And I know everyone's read it. I know I have to reread it because I read it so long ago. I don't remember what happened. And one of the lovely ladies, or a few of them, from the Lit Coven reading book club group that I'm in, will be buddy reading with me the second and possibly the third book. So I have to make sure I reread this, and get it done because so many people have been talking about how amazing this is. I don't remember it, so I'm gonna reread it so I can like whip out the other two in the following months. Next is the Blood's Pride by Evie Manrini. I don't know what this is about, but all I know is there is a creepy woman on the cover, and it's some epic fantasy. And that's all I need to know. I don't know what this book is about. Oh, this thrilling new epic fantasy is set in a quasi-medieval Mediterranean region, drawing together the war culture of the Vikings, the wanderlust of the desert nomads, and the oracle of ancient Greece. That sounds pretty dope. Blood's Pride is an intricate, lush book full of taunt action, gut-wrenching betrayal, and soaring romance. I'm for it. So, woman on the cover. And I'm going to put these over here. Next, I'm going to do this pile, which is Middla Grade. And so, I'm not going to talk about each one, but I'm going to talk about the ones I'm like really excited to read. So, this is The Wizard's Dog by Eric Con-Gale. And it's about Merlin's dog and how he speaks and he has magic, and it's supposedly really cute. So I'm kind of excited for it. Next is Sarah Porter's Tentacle and Wing. I got this because of the really pretty, colorful cover that is, and it's been on my shelf for a while. So I'm like, let's knock these books out. Next is Midnight for Charlie Bone. This is the first book in the Children of the Red King series by Nemo. And okay, so when this book came out, I think I was in like 6th grade or something like that. And Harry Potter came out at the same time, or roughly around the same time. So it was like these two books were in competition with one another, and Harry Potter took off. And this book was kind of like left in the wind, but I'm pretty excited. I tried to take the sticker off, and I really messed up. So if you have any tips or tricks to get that off, please put it in the description below. The comments, not the description. You knew what I meant. Okay. Okay. So the next one is by Hattie Tao, Charlie, see another Charlie, and the Grandmothers. A visit to grandmother's house has never been so frightening. And if you see, it also has women on the cover because it's about grandmas being very scary. I always think okay, so this might just be me, but whenever I see old people being creepy, I automatically think of Dead Silence, the movie, and it's kind of scary. I feel like it's scary. Okay, next prompt. Put these Middla Grade prompt right here. Okay. Keep all my prompts together so I can put them in my new jar that I will. So I bought a jar from Marshall's, and it's like ombre, red, maroon kind of color, and it has like believe. So pretty. And it has like a fall pumpkin smell. Oh, I love it so much. But this is, I handled a jar. Like the can you handle it and the handled jar. So I will be putting all the prompts in this jar to make sure I don't double tap too many times of the same prompt. So yeah, I wanted to share that idea with you guys. Next is new author. Excuse me. The Owl Keeper by Christine Braden Jones. If you look into the dark long enough, you'll see things others don't. And I've had this on my TBR show for over 2 years. So, yeah. Next is Holly Black, Doll Bones, which a lot of people like, Rachel Marie, I'm going to try and have her picture up here. She actually might be reading it this month too, so maybe we can buddy read or something like that. That would be awesome. But this is about a doll that's like a queen. This is kind of has that like grandma silence, dead silence kind of thing with the dolls. Yeah, that movie is creepy. Yeah, so okay. I haven't read any of Holly Black stuff, so this really is like opening a door to her style of writing and world building. I'm pretty excited because a lot of people love Holly Black. So that's awesome. Next is The Bone Shaker by Kate Milford. And I have no idea what this has been on my TBR shelf for a really long time. I get The Bone Shaker is a doctor who's eccentric. Okay. That's pretty interesting. Next is The Adventures of Letty Peppercorn by Sam Gaden and illustrated by Polly Bernetti. And there is a blurb that says, a magical adventure reminiscent of Roald Dahl and Lewis Carroll. And when I saw this, I picked it up because she reminded me of the girl with the pigtails, the pirate's daughter. I think her name was like Pepper or Peppy or something like that. And then the Pepper reminded me of Pepper Ann from like the 90s. And I was like, oh, yes. So, and lastly, well, no, that is last. So these are our new authors' books. Put that there. Next is start a new series. So, Tarathi Mathy. I can't pronounce her first name, and I feel so bad. But Miss Mafi. But her book of Furthermore, this has been talked about, and it's a world with color with a girl who's colorless. And I found that to be very interesting, but I haven't picked it up. Like, it's on my shelf. It's really pretty, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll get to it. So, I'm going to get to it before the end of the year. That's the goal. Next is Deanna Raybourn's A Curious Beginning, a Veronica Speedwell mystery. And she has so many books out on this series. So that's pretty exciting. And all her books have this really, really pretty cover. And there's a woman on the cover. Just saying. Next is The Invisible Library by Guinevere Cogman. This is also the first book in her series of badass librarians. One thing any librarian will tell you, the truth is much stranger than fiction. So I think that's pretty exciting. Oh, look, I was going to say they're all the same color. They're not. Not at all. So, yeah. Next is Retellings. Oh, wait. I have one more from new authors. The Devourers by Indra Das. I have no idea what this is about, but every time I went to my second-hand bookstore, I saw it, and I always wondered, like, what is this about? And it has a woman on the cover, so it falls under both categories. So it's pretty exciting. But there's a blurb. I like blurbs. A lot of people are like, oh, blurb doesn't tell me anything. But it's like a recommendation from, like, an author you like. Like, when I see Neil Gaiman or Brahm or Neil Gaiman on anything, I kind of like, oh, I gotta read it then. Or Mark Lawrence and Joe Abercrombie. Their blurbs, I always end up getting the book because of that. So this blurb is by Pierce Brown. And it says, Pierce Brown, the new best-selling author of Red Rising, which I want to read. It is a wholly original primal tale of love, violence, and transformation. Let's see, blurbs are just like, they give you just enough. So, such a pretty book. Like, so pretty. Now, our retellings. So most of these retellings are Alice in Wonderland retellings because I love Alice in Wonderland. So just deal with it. I'm just saying. So the first one is by Frank Bador, and it is The Looking Glass Wars. This is the first in the trilogy. And it's Alice in Wonderland. I've been trying to read this for so long. I need to just... Oh, there are pictures in here? Ooh. Okay. That's pretty exciting. Next is Alice Takes Back Wonderland by David D. Hemmings. And I'm glad I picked all like my Alice in Wonderland because then I can compare them and see like who took what. Because sometimes people draw or describe the Cheshire Cat as being like evil or being playful so I'm pretty excited about that. Next Alice in Wonderland retelling is the Silver Trilogy, Dream a Little Dream by Kristen Gear. So yeah, this is a Alice in Wonderland retelling, but it seems like a border school kind of thing. That's gonna be interesting. That's been on my shelf. All of these have been on my shelf for over a year and a half. So, okay. Next is Jane Slayer, the literary classic with a blood-sucking twist by Charlotte Bronte and Sherry Browning Irwin. So, for everyone who's like Crime and Punishment and zombies, I don't like zombies, so I don't really read too much about zombies, or try not to. And so, this I'm kind of curious about. It reminds me of Seth Graham with Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Slayer. That's kind of what it reminds me of. And my last retelling, which has been on my shelf for over 3 years, is Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page. And I liked Wicked. I liked, The Wiz. If you don't know what The Wiz is, you have to look that up because it's a retelling of Dorothy and The Wizard of Oz and everything like that. So, yes, that is my retellings. Last but not least, 600 or more books. 600 or plus pages in book. I wrote that one weird. This is the second to last. And so, I'm so excited to read these. These are really long. I'm probably only going to pick one and try and get through it. So we have Seven Blades in Black by Sam Sykes. I have a few of his books up there, but This one, it just... Okay, so it has blurbs from R.F. Kong or Kane. You know what I mean. Kong. She wrote The Poppy War. I think so. But Robin Hobb has a blurb. Pierce Brown has a blurb. Let's see. Robin Hobb says, offers villains that are as memorable and unique as the heroes. Action, magic, romance, and humor mingled well in this mammoth tale. Pretty excited. When I saw this, I thought of the Ancestors' Brides by Mark Lawrence. The Red Sister, the Gray Sister, the Holy Sister. So I originally picked that up because of that. It just felt like it would be close to that. Next is Tad Williams' The Witchwood Crown. And when I got this in the bookstore, I was in California with my mom. And this was recommended to me by a stranger passing by. He was like, oh, because I had picked up like another dark fantasy book. And he was like, oh, if you like that, then you would like this. And so I was like, oh, let me give it a try. But Tad Williams has so many series. And they're like this thick in like 5 books. So I was like, let me start with the one that's like not hardcover, but like the soft buttery one. So I picked this one. And it's book 1 of The Last King of Ostenard. Okay. Next is Glenn Cook's Chronicles of the Black Company. This has 3 books in one. The Black Company, Shadow Lingers, and The White Rose. And one of the greatest fantasy epics of the age. That's pretty exciting. It has a woman on the cover. And so does the Sam Sykes one, so just so you know, I might like, switch it. Oh, a lot of these books had women on the cover. I'll have that like in the thing, somewhere above. Some writing like, oh, has a woman on the cover. So the last of the 600 plus or more books is The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. And I've had this for so long. I don't even remember when I bought this. But yeah, it's an epic fantasy, and it's like it's real. If you've read any of these books, please let me know what you thought about it down below. Just like, a brief overview, nothing detailed and spoilerish, which I'm sure most of us won't spoil something for another person unless they ask for it, because we are a very kind and caring book community. And the very last of the last of the last prompts for December is read NetGalley book. So I'm also going to have like my wrap up, which probably should have been filmed first, but I'm probably going to put this one first. So anything from NetGalley that I didn't read in November, I will be reading in December. So that concludes this video. I will have in the next video, the wrap up, all the books that I will like roll over minutes, just roll over to this month. And that is my TBR. It's very ambitious, but Christmas break is coming up for it's like 2 weeks. I plan on reading, like getting through these books, because as you can see, like my shelves are kind of like sparse, slowly and surely. Like you see the little corner right here is like empty. Like if I don't like a book, I'm not going to keep it. And so I don't have that many books. So I'm really kind of like trying to whip through all my very, very long TBRs so then I can get more books for my TBR and not worry about, oh, I've had this book for over 3 years and like try and justify why you haven't read it, because we all do that. And I don't know what's going on with my hair. just ignore it. I've been having a really rough 24 hours, and I do not want to look how I feel. So I put some makeup on to look pretty and to feel good, because makeup is like a woman's battle paint. War paint is makeup. Especially eyeliner, like the wing eyeliner and stuff. That's war paint, because it takes so long to do it. But I'm rambling. So that is all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up, because that would be wonderful. If you would like to see more of my videos, please hit the subscribe button. I know I've been kind of MIA with like moving and life and school, but I am here, and I am going to try and do this bi-weekly. The dates are still unknown, but you know, life happens. And so I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.